Hey, it's TheaDaniels with R.A.W.Vlogcast, where we keep it real, authentic, and I talk with people who are willing to share their passion. Just got done listening to Jason Beard of the Whiskey Family Band.
Whiskey Family Band, Poor Man's Whiskey.
Poor Man's Whiskey.
Yeah, Whiskey Family Band, yeah, all that stuff.
And they took out the last night of Peacetown.
Yes.
And you had us all singing happy birthday and dancing.
It was a hootenanny.
It was a hootenanny.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. Okay, so I was listening and he was talking with this young man who sent him a CD a few years ago, but since CDs are kind of out, you want to fill in on the rest of that story because this kid was stoked.
Yeah, that kid actually not a few years ago. It was probably, he must be 35 now, so it was probably when he was 18. I was teaching him tennis. And I knew when I was teaching him tennis, I heard he was in a band, and he knew I was in a band, and he gave me a demo tape. It was a CD or a tape. I can't remember what it was back. That was probably 15, 20 years ago. And I was like, it was just high school kids. They're probably juniors or senior in high school. And I listened to the tape or the CD, and I was like blown away. Like how talented they had, all these vocal harmonies. The songwriting was amazing. But there was one particular song that he wrote that I was just like, not just because it was like a student of mine that I knew, but just the song itself was amazing. Yeah. And he's still doing music. He's out in New York. He's an actor and a musician in New York. But I remember back then he was probably 16 or 17. And he just flew in and contacted me and came to the show.
Tonight came just to see him.
And I said, man, I want to get that copy because it's burned in my head what a good song, but I have no way to get it. But now I just saw him, so he's going to send me the tune. So I'm pretty stoked. And hopefully, because when they did it, they were high school kids, the recording technology. Hopefully I can re-record it with them and sort of produce and play it.
Hopefully he's getting it from one of his students. That is so cool. That's mentorship at its finest.
Yeah.
So what got you started with music?
Well,
how old were you?
What got me started with music was a listener of music. I was the youngest of four older brothers, and we all lived in a garage. So all in one room in a garage. And my older brothers, when I was a kid, I had to listen what they listened to. Pink Floyd, a lot of huge Pink Floyd stuff. But and back, I listened to records, and I just loved listening to music long before I ever started playing music. And then I got into Simon and Garfunkel and like poetry, and got into like just songwriting. Again, before I ever played music, I was into like poetry and writing lyrics. In high school, I didn't play music yet, but I was in a poetry club.
All the way in high school, still not doing music?
Not doing music, but the seeds of music. I was listening and I was writing poems at that time, but really songs are just sort of poems. And then in freshman year of college, I took a guitar class and a piano class, but the piano was tricky because it's a giant thing, but guitar I can take anywhere. So I ditched the piano, played guitar, and then I met Josh. I don't know if you talked to Josh. 2 years later, I met him down at Santa Barbara. I was probably 21, he might have been 19, and we formed a band, and the rest is history. We've been playing now since 1994.
Man, you guys have grown up together. How'd your kids together?
Yeah, my kids are actually older. I had my kids, and now he's got young kids, and my kids are older. But it's interesting because we're like best friends, but on the surface, you would think we are nothing alike. He's like long-haired hippie, and I'm a tennis. My other job is I'm a tennis teaching pro, so I just playing tennis and stuff. But really, we talk every day for the last 21 years. We probably talk every single day. And stuff. Yeah. It's almost like a marriage.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of magic.
Yeah, it's like a marriage and brothers at the same time. And it's rare to be
bromage.
It is, and just like a marriage that lasts a long time, it's really hard to make something last that long. It's a rare thing and especially with music where there's so much and when you're collaborating in art, you got to give up a little bit of something. To collaborate with someone, you got to give up something. Like you just can't come in and say, "This is what I want to do." There's a little give and take, and that's hard to pull off for like 20 years. But we could do it great.
You guys just love each other.
Nice little partnership. Yeah,
that's the passion stuff.
Yeah, and we write a lot of songs together. Where I'll get seedlings of going, and then I won't finish it because I don't sing, but I write lyrics. But if I finish a song, I know that he's not going to connect it with it in the same way. than as if he writes the lyrics too. So I'll get seedlings of the main point. I'm like, okay, this is what I think the song's about. This is the melody, this is the chorus, but here's a whole open slate. Why don't you finish it up? And we do that a lot. And that's helpful because then I could get it going, and then he's part of the song too. And then when we play the song, it's not like, oh, I'm playing your song or we're playing my song. It's like we play a lot of our songs together. So that's rare too.
And then, we get to know the words as the enthusiasts. And we're singing along.
Yeah,
and
that's the cool
music.
thing. Like, I don't know if you got any video, but everybody's singing when you get like 1,000 people singing the words. That's an amazing feeling. It's like, holy cow, I remember writing that song, or I remember the process of that. And now everybody's singing it back. That's crazy.
All beaming up at you, going, yes, I know this song.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a fun story about being a man on the music road.
I got a lot of stories, but fun story. I don't know.
Crazy
I
story?
can't think of one crazy story.
Okay.
God, we used to have a purple bus. Our craziest stories. We used to have a long purple 40-foot, 60-foot tour bus, and when we first started wanting to like hit the road, we're like, this is a great idea. Let's buy a bus. And then gas got to like $5 a gallon, and we're driving along, and it would literally, I'd be watching it $1 a mile. But when we had that bus and we were young and hungry, and we would roll into these towns in this monstrosity. What was funny is we were just like, we bought this bus, but we were playing like Mexican restaurants in the basements of just wherever, and we would roll in with this monstrosity tour bus.
Big old
very
purple
presumptuous of us being rock stars. And there's lots of stories in the bus, but just having the bus, it was a funny story. We'd get it stuck. We'd drive it places we couldn't drive it. We took it to Harley Strictly, and we pulled it in, and and somehow it became the party bus, and there was like 60 people on top of the bus, and we got reprimanded for the bus itself is funny. I'm sure Josh has
fun story.
Small funny stories, but yeah.
How can we follow you?
You can follow Poor Man's Whiskey on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Okay.
We're sort of older. We were behind the game on a lot of the social media stuff. We encourage Facebook is where we do most of it, but YouTube. Poor Man's Whiskey, we have a YouTube
and
page.
like and subscribe and share.
Yeah, all that stuff. Like and subscribe and share, because the YouTube stuff is we put out content. Well, during COVID, we started editing videos, but for us, that's the most immediate, like, music-related, like, stuff. If you can go watch our music and stuff on YouTube. Obviously, we're on Spotify and all that other stuff. And then, did you talk to Josh?
I did.
And Josh Bruff has got the Josh Bruff String Band, and he's got a Facebook page where he does his singer-songwriter stuff. And then I have a band called Whiskey Family Band.
Okay.
Jason Beard and the Whiskey Family Band. It's all under the big umbrella, but they're different little things. So if you're gonna go to find all the different things. You can see like the Josh Bruff String Band and versus the Whiskey Family Band is like two sides of our brain. And Poor Man's Whiskey is like the big thing in the middle. So we section it off. So go to all of them. The YouTube page is like probably the best, the one we encourage most, and Spotify. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, totally.
And are you playing parties and gigs and things like that too?
Parties, gigs.
So
we
have to get together.
We have festivals, shows. We got some run. Poor Man's Whiskey. We used to do a lot of touring all over the country. Then right before COVID, we did a big farewell show at the Fillmore, and we're going to take. And then COVID hit, and then so everybody took time off. And now we're just dipping our toe back into shows local, because Josh has got kids, so we're doing some local shows, some festivals. Some small things like some trio stuff.
Having fun, staying close to home
until we're ready to like slowly ramp it back up again. So
do I get to share you all over social media and spread the word?
Yeah, you can tag me on Jason Beard and the Whiskey Family Band on Instagram. That's my page.
Okay.
And I think on YouTube on Facebook it's I think it's all Jason Beard and Whiskey Family Band.
I'll friend you and tag you, and then share you all the over, and if you like it, you share it all over. Because I got a YouTube channel too. So hey, signing out from the final Peace Town of the season 2022.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason.
Thanks.
Cheers.